What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ. As always, I'm joined by my co-host. We'll start with my sister.
Oh, Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah, I didn't get your name, so I always forget my sister's name. So my sister Dylan is here. We are also joined by my friend Dan.
What's going on?
And my brother Derek.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, and we're going to be talking this week about Spider-Man Homecoming and our MCU Rewind. So we'll be checking that out, seeing how this Spider-Man stands up with his other cinematic renditions of the character. Is this good or is it not? We'll see. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news. And we're going to start with Spider-Man in the news, actually. Because apparently, it's a rumor, but it looks like Disney and Sony are going to be extending their Spider-Man deal between the two of them. Yeah, like we know they did extend it a little bit, but it only covered Spider-Man 3 and then one more Marvel movie. So it looks like they're talking about extending it, which I say makes the most sense because I feel like this deal is the best for both parties. We know Sony's not going to give up Spider-Man. It wouldn't make sense for them to do it. And just sharing them between the two kind of works the best for this character.
That does make the most sense. I feel like, especially since if they're doing the multiverse for the third one, seems like there's a lot where this movie can go. So if he shows up, if he has another movie plus shows up in a bunch of other movies, I think that makes the most sense that you have to continue his story.
Yeah. I like that idea, though.
Yeah. This multiverse thing they're doing in the third one opens a lot of doors. That way they can bring Venom into it without saying Venom actually happened in the MCU. It's like it didn't, but now the universe has merged with ours or whatever, or he came over from that universe or something like that. And there are other characters like Morbius and all that. So yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff can come out of this multiverse they're doing if they do it correctly, which I'm very nervous about. Very nervous.
Let me ask you, could Spider-Man not have been in the Venom movie? Is that how that first Marvel deal went?
Yeah, they couldn't use Spider-Man.
So does this new one allow Sony to use Spider-Man in some of their other Spider-Verse movies that Spider-Man should be in but haven't been in?
I don't know.
Yes. I think they can.
I feel like Sony.
I think what they worked out is allowing Marvel to finish, their trilogy with Spider-Man before him being used in the Sony movies, so there wouldn't be any confusions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think Sony went the wrong route. I feel like instead of using we're just going to make movies out of all of Spider-Man's villains, there are a lot of other Spider people. I'm confused at why they didn't just use that. If Marvel has Peter Parker, why didn't they just use Miles Morales or Gwen Stacy?
You know the answer to that. Come on.
Yeah, but it seems dumb. Miles Morales, okay. All right.
I mean, not even just that. I mean, you think they're going to have a movie? I mean, they might do it now.
But a female-led Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, they weren't going to do that. That's why it wasn't done.
They didn't think it would make money. All right.
They didn't think the Miles Morales movie would make money?
Probably not.
A live-action one?
I mean, now it definitely will.
No,
we know it will now. But
Yeah.
they probably didn't think it would.
I feel like it would have before. I mean, it's Miles Morales. We
know it would, but studios have been afraid to have a black, superhero headline a movie.
Yeah, or even think of Black Widow and how the head of Marvel didn't want to make a Black Widow movie because he didn't think it would make money. Now, back in 2012, we would have gone and saw a Black Widow movie if they came out with one. It would have made money, but it's the corporations don't think it's going to make money.
Yeah.
So they didn't do it until all of the movies started coming out, like Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel and stuff. Which I don't understand why they think it wouldn't work with superheroes. It worked in everything else. Terminator. It's not a strong female-led movie.
But is it? I mean, it turned out to be that way, but it wasn't marketed that way.
What about Alien?
Didn't she most of her co-star though? I wouldn't say the movie was led by her.
Okay.
No, but the movie was more about her than it was about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But it wasn't marketed that way. That's the thing.
Yeah,
You're right about it. I mean, there's some examples.
He gonna bring the audience.
Yeah, there's some examples that shows that a female-led movie works, but for some reason, studios has been still afraid to do it, which makes no sense. I mean, you have like The Hunger Games was highly successful,
right?
But it's still like, can we have a female superhero? Like, yeah, bro, you can.
Yeah, so that didn't make sense. But so you're saying that's why they didn't do the different spider people? Because I'm like, you got access to all of that. Why not use a hero rather than? Because you couldn't even did just not the silver and black they wanted to do, but you could have just done a Black Cat movie. As long as it's not like the Halle Berry Catwoman movie, you're good.
Please, God, no.
Right.
I mean, she's got Captain America's powers, right?
Yeah. Don't like the super soldier serum.
Yeah. So she's good. She's a beast.
Can we just get rid of that thing? I feel like that's the answer to everything in the comics.
Wait, super soldier?
Yeah.
Nope. Just super soldier serum. If there was one, I might take it. It's the easiest workout routine I've ever had.
You have to be a super soldier.
Hoping this vaccine turned me to Captain America.
Yeah. Then I have muscles. I gotta do more than one. That's the problem.
You ain't even doing the one, so start with the one and work your way
up. All right. Well, talking about gains, She-Hulk.
What?
Talking about what now?
Gains. That's the slang term, gains with the muscle gains and stuff.
Oh,
gains.
Oh, gains.
Yes.
Oh, I was like gains. Oh, I was about to say, huh?
No.
You lost me on that one, but okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'm back.
Speaking about working out, She-Hulk. There was some more stuff that came out about her show. Apparently, it's going to be a half-hour show, so it's not an hour like some of the other Disney Plus, and it's a legal comedy. So I was like, interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those before.
Yeah, I was trying to think of an example of a legal comedy, but
I don't know how I feel about that.
All the legal stuff I watch are always dramas, so.
Right. I mean, I love my lawyers shows, but I've never seen one that's a comedy.
Could be interesting. That just tells me it's not going to be a whole bunch of action every episode.
I might be fine with that.
I am too. You need to change it up. Dan, you don't look like you're okay with it.
I'm not. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not. Like, okay, so what are we gonna do then? We sit in the courtroom laughing at each other, making jokes about different haircuts and cheap shoots or something? Like, what are we gonna do?
You say it like that. That sounds.
She's probably going to be representing some stupid superheroes like Squirrel Girl. That's probably what's going to happen. She's going to be representing superheroes, and we're going to get some real dumb ones. Talking about the D list.
That's not going to draw me in.
I don't know. A comedy's good. Everything doesn't have to be. We talk about the superhero genre and changing it up. I feel like it's good.
A comedy is good if it's funny.
It's not going to be funny.
What's not going to be funny?
I said he doesn't know it's not going to be funny.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, but I can't think of a whole lot of material you're going to use to make it funny.
I don't know a legal comedy. I've never heard of that before. So I'm gonna give it a chance.
Maybe it's like The Office.
But that's not legal. It's like-
It is. It is if you're a lawyer. It's legal if you're a lawyer. The legal part is she's a lawyer. That's the legal part of this entire thing.
That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that's legal.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Right. Like, if you think of legal, don't you think of like Law and Order?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be like originally.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But do we really leave it at?
All Rise, that new show.
I like that show.
What
But
show?
All Rise.
All Rise. Okay. The only legal comedy I can think of that's actually funny is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's not okay.
That's not a legal comedy.
I guess so.
Comedy though, and they're police officers, so it's like legal. So
I guess maybe it's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
that I can see, but you gotta.
Is
have
this
some funny
actress
people in it.
funny? I haven't really seen her act in anything.
Who is she?
I forgot her name. Something
That's probably important to know.
Mussolini, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. I'm looking it up on the computer.
What has she been on?
I don't know. Tatiana Maslany.
Mussolini?
No, Mussolini. What Mussolini? I mean, some people's last name is Mussolini. Oh, she's
I think you
Canadian.
pronounce it wrong.
He was definitely pronouncing it wrong.
It's Maslany. What do you want me to? Maslany.
Maslany?
Yeah, Maslany. Maslany? What?
It's probably Mussolini or Mussolini or something.
There's no
Probably-
A.
you
No,
probably
it's
kill it.
not
Did you say
Mussolini.
M-A-S?
Masl.
M-A-S-L, yeah. Mussolini.
You're still putting an extra
There's another
vowel
language.
in there. There's definitely an
another
extra
language.
vowel.
How they do in other languages. They just add things that ain't really even there.
Let's see. Troll Hunters, Perry Mason. That's the new one. Orphan Black.
Okay. I haven't seen any of those things.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything she was in. So Robot Chicken. All right, I guess if she was on Robot Chicken, she probably has some
how
comedy.
everybody. Yeah, like everybody has had a role in Robot.
She was
Chicken.
in a few episodes of Parks and Rec.
As
Nadia. Wait, is
his
that
sister?
no? Nadia wasn't that old dude's girlfriend, the Canadian one? Yes, it was. What's her name's Canadian wife? Tom.
No. That was her name was Nadia?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I gotta look.
I don't think you're right.
I think
No,
so.
Nadia was the girl's sister
Who's
who
this?
like hardly ever talked. Was that Nadia?
No. She's Canadian. I mean, the actress is Canadian. I bet you.
So she can only play Canadian in the
No,
show?
but it lines up, okay?
Man. That's limiting.
But no, she's not Hispanic, so it's not the one that doesn't talk.
Okay. So Tom's wife.
I'm pretty sure it was Tom's wife.
I don't remember her name being Nadia.
I don't know. We'll have to look this up later. It's going to take me too long to figure it out. We'll figure
Okay.
that out. Next bit of news that I had, though. Oh, wait. How do you guys feel about it being a half hour?
That's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see how much they're gonna do with it anyway.
I'm
So
cool.
I guess
I think that's a
don't
good
think it'll
time.
be too much.
I mean, we can't have all these shows be an hour long.
No, I feel it. I just want it. If you're going to do a half hour, I need more than 6 episodes per season.
Is it still only 6 episodes?
They didn't name the episodes, but you know, all the other ones are only 6 episodes. So I'm like, this one, you got to do like 15 or something.
No.
Yeah.
It's fine at 6 episodes.
I need a whole season. What do you mean?
A half hour?
You don't even know if you're gonna like it.
I need
Yeah,
a whole
that's
season.
what I'm saying. I'm cool with 6 episodes.
But a half hour is not a lot of time, though.
Yeah, most half-hour seasons are 22 episodes.
Whatever.
Like the simple.
Yeah, don't give me 6 half-hour episodes. I'm gonna be left disappointed 100% by the end of it.
Right? Can you imagine
Go ahead, the
just
rest
in
of
the
it.
animated series and it's just six episodes to a season?
Yeah, that don't work. All right, but some other news. The Russo Brothers, directors of Infinity War and Endgame, they are set to direct and produce something called The Electric State with Millie Bobby Brown as a star in that. They are also using the writers of Endgame. I haven't heard of this, but apparently this is a popular book, something about robots. Yeah, so they're working on that. I usually like to mention the Russo Brothers stuff because they're pretty good directors, so maybe check it out. Not sure.
They've had some success.
Yeah.
Okay. You said this was going to be on Netflix?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not listening.
Wow. Wow. No, it's called The Electric State. It's just a movie they're working on.
Okay.
States.
State.
United States.
Like, yeah, just but singular. State.
Oh, Electric State. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I thought it was interesting. You got Millie Bobby Brown in it. They're directing it, so maybe it would be good. I don't know. I'll have to read up on the premise again. The premise didn't seem that interesting to me, but
Why did you bring it up if you didn't think it was interesting?
Good start.
the Russo brothers and Millie Bobby Brown. There wasn't a lot of news this week, okay?
Okay.
All right. The Rotten Tomato score for Wonder Woman 84 is out. That movie's coming out midway through this week on Christmas. So, yeah. It is 88% positive on Rotten Tomatoes, but we did break that down a little bit further. Looks like the movie's getting a score between 60 and 70% on that. And I think that lines up with the other rating websites as well.
So it's probably an okay movie.
Yeah, it looks like it's okay. Probably would do well anyway because this is like the first new movie we get to go see. So, but this was the critics, so we'll have to see what the audience feels about it. Audience usually likes movies more than the critics.
Well, aren't we watching it?
Yeah.
So then, what we say goes.
Oh, that's right. Whatever our rating for the movie is what the movie is rated because we're the only opinion that matters.
You know it.
Right, so it's either going to be Kill Me Now or Best Movie Ever.
Is that the only two things we're doing? We cut all the other.
No, we have the few in the middle, but yeah.
I had a few other names for Kill Me Now, but we're keeping the podcast PG-13, so no. We'll just keep it that simple. All right. Speaking of Wonder Woman, both Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot weighed in on their thoughts of Warner Brothers going to streaming for their movies. And both of them said that in different circumstances, they would be against it, but they're understanding of the situation right now with the pandemic, which is kind of the first two good answers I've seen given with this question, considering how all the other directors at Warner Brothers seem to be throwing a hissy fit, apparently, even though going to see their movies in theaters would literally kill people.
Yeah,
the same turnout, so you're gonna end up losing money that way.
Yeah, that's the part. Like, movies aren't making money right now, so to just only release in the theaters just doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, it's only until this is over. So it's only for this year and next year. Mm-hmm. And then it's going back to normal.
Yeah. I mean, come on. They're not going to put a movie like Wonder Woman straight to streaming. Like, no. There's no way. That's $1 billion movie. You want it to make $1 billion. It's not going to do it on streaming. So, like, obviously, they're not going to do this forever for everything. People need to stop acting like this is the new norm for it. Maybe for your Bobby Catch Sally movie or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of romantic movie names. Okay.
Have you seen a romantic comedy? Because Bobby Cat Sally is not.
No, I always mention
that's a porno name.
Just to put that out there.
I always mention The Sun Is Also a Star because I think that's the last one I watched. And I was like, it's like the only people are going to think like that's my favorite movie.
Is it?
No, it's the only like romantic comedy that I've watched in recent times.
Okay.
So yeah, unless I guess I'll go with the proposal. So yeah, unless it's a movie like that, those movies will probably go straight to streaming because they don't make a lot of money in theaters now anyway. But your blockbuster movies, nah, they're gonna stay in theaters. There's no way they leave. So I don't know what the complaints about.
What is shut theaters down? What's the use of theaters anymore?
I mean, just think about it. You think the fans would have wanted Endgame to just be on streaming?
Nah.
Like, no.
Nah.
They would have argued against that.
It was an experience going to the theater. I actually bought souvenirs.
Really?
Yeah.
He did.
That out of me. I'm like,
yeah, I got a little Captain America bobblehead and a Black Panther plush.
Yeah, I didn't go that far.
I was like, nah, I ain't even getting no candy. I still snuck candy in.
No,
yeah. Some drinks,
no, I mean,
beer.
I still you still sneak your candy in. What?
Yeah. But if I'm gonna sneak the candy in, I ain't buying the merchandise either. Trying to keep y'all from getting my money.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, those are events. People go to see events, but some movies aren't events, so they may go straight to streaming. Otherwise, I don't know what the complaint is about.
There is no complaint because think about it, Warner Brothers is doing this because what else are they going to do? Tenet lost $100 million. You can't lose that much money on all of your other movies. You have to do something.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right.
That hurts.
That's a lot of money, and they can't afford to lose that. And you can't push the movie back forever either. And then I think Christopher Nolan, in trying to defend himself, said like, well, I just don't understand how you can make a decision going all the way up to December of 2021. I'm like, dude, it's projections. They have, like, even without COVID, they do projections of like how much money they'll make for the year. They plan it out. This is why you don't work for a studio. That's why you're a director and not a financial analyst, because there's projections. You don't just sit there and wing it like, hey, well, we'll probably do this. You got to plan that out. And so they saw what's happening and they're planning it out based on what's happening.
Well, that, and they already have a lineup for 2022.
Yeah.
So these movies in 2021 have to come out because they already got a full slate for the year after that. So yes, it's up until December because first of all, they're saying that, this stuff won't be over July at the earliest. And that's if they're right about that.
I saw a news article and they're saying the United Kingdom was saying that 50% of their population, less than 50% of their population will be vaccinated by the end of the year. So that's still a lot of people not vaccinated. So this is going to be around for a while. I'm not even going to start on the US. We got way more people and a whole lot more idiots. So yeah. There's no saying how long it's going to last.
Next year is shot. So I feel like Warner Bros. Is doing what they can just to salvage some of this. Like they're going to lose money. At least if they can get some of it back, then that's what they're going to do.
Everybody's losing money, though. I mean, that's more than just movies. I mean, sports, any kind of events that people would usually go out and pay for, everybody losing money.
Yeah, restaurants,
like you said,
sports.
You got to go by what's your best move to keep your profit margin as big as possible.
Right
now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. So apparently AMC and some other theaters are planning to reduce the price of a mission for Wonder Woman 84 as a way to get back at Warner Brothers for doing the video on demand. So they're talking like $3 to $5 a ticket.
Okay.
I'm still not gonna go see it.
Yeah,
I don't care how cheap it is.
I'm like, I don't think this is
matter.
gonna help them.
It's not gonna change anything.
That's not gonna change anything. And then how's that any different than me seeing the movie on $5 Tuesday?
It's not.
It ain't.
So whatever.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's a lateral move.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Plus, I'm like, I don't know, AMC. I'm like, you're not going up against like Sony or Universal or something. It's Warner Brothers. Like, it will hurt you more if Warner Brothers just said, "Fine, we won't release any of these movies in theater at all." Like, Wonder Woman is still being released in theaters. It's just also being released on demand at the same time. So, like, the people that weren't going to watch it in theaters, they're not going to all of a sudden go because it's $5. They weren't going to go to the theater anyway. It doesn't hurt Warner Brothers. I'm like, I don't think
they get that. Especially when, like, the international numbers came out and they're not that great. They're below projections.
Yeah.
So I think it's showing that people really aren't that willing to go to the movie theater.
They're not.
So I don't know, with like AMC, like, what you tripping on? It's not like, what are you showing right now? Nothing? You still showing Jurassic Park repeats?
Probably.
Yep.
Stop being petty.
Me and Dylan talked about it earlier. We were like, it would have been smart for these movie theaters to build, like, obviously you wouldn't get as much money, but if they put up drive-in stuff at, like, if they made themselves drive-ins at their movie theaters, they can start to recoup some of that money they lose.
Well, how can you do it when movies like Tenet refuse to release on drive-ins?
Yeah. I think they would have made a lot of money on drive-ins.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense on why they wouldn't do it.
Use your parking lot.
This is your avenue. This is your new avenue to like recoup some of that money. Like, why would you not do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't get Christopher Nolan. Like, the avenues you had in order for the movie to make as much money as possible, you didn't take it. Like, I don't get that. Even now, you can't rent the movie. You can only buy it for $20. I don't want to own Tenet.
No.
I want to see it, but it's not something I want to pay $20 for.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like this. I don't want to buy a movie before I saw it. You know?
Unless it's in that $5 bin at Walmart.
I don't want to. And then
buy things I like.
And then it's digital. I can't get rid of a movie I own digitally. I don't want to.
Right.
You know, I don't want to. If it's bad, I want to get rid of it. So, like, yeah, I don't think that's a good look. It's kind of dumb. The directors, AMC, at least I guess, is dumb, but at least I guess they have a reason to fight for people to go to theaters. Christopher Nolan, why? Because as you saw, your movie didn't make money. If WB released it on streaming, Christopher Nolan, you would have made more money. So why are you against it? It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense.
Well, he already got paid, so it doesn't matter.
You just want to talk.
He got his money.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think
Actors
this is dumb.
And directors are taking their money already.
No, it's dumb. I mean, like, Warner Brothers not money off of this, but it's like, it's kind of their only option right now.
At least they make some. I mean, what, for this movie Wonder Woman, at least they can make maybe $500 to $600 million.
I think that's high, but okay.
Maybe. I mean,
You think they would make that much?
I don't.
I think with it being $1 billion movie, probably.
It's high. I don't see him getting that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with
high.
Dylan on this. That's kind of high.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna make whatever I can possibly make.
Well, I mean, how much is HBO?
$15.
So you at least get $15 per movie ticket, right? Well, not per movie ticket, per household.
Yeah. Here's the reason why I don't have HBO. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why it's $15 when I can get Netflix for less, and Netflix is better. So
I can get 2 whole other subscriptions for around that much.
Netflix and Disney Plus. This is $15.
Get a bundle.
Yeah, honestly, my Disney Plus, Hulu,
you
ESPN,
can
National
bundle Disney
Geographic,
Plus.
all of that is less than $15.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I'm like, come on now. Paying for a name.
yeah. So, but everybody's going to at least get 1 month, right? How many people are going to get HBO Max to watch Wonder Woman?
Yeah. If you sign up now, you can get 20% off if you pay 6 months in advance.
You got to pay all 6 months.
What?
Yes.
I'm not keeping everything for 6 months. We're getting it, and then we're canceling it until Justice League comes out.
When is Justice League coming out?
I don't know.
Well, we need to calendar this out.
Yeah, we probably should. All right, to get 600 million, 40 million people have to subscribe this month.
They're not getting that. No way. They're not getting that.
I don't know. Okay. Well, at least they make some though. Maybe the movie won't lose money like Tenet did.
I'm gonna get some, but not 600 million. Some.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, with that being said, if you don't want to lose money, just like Tenet did, then you might want to start a podcast. And if you do, you can use Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. So yeah, check out our link below.
Wow.
Smooth. All right, so our main topic of today was Spider-Man Homecoming. So I'll say my 2 cents on the movie. I don't know. I watched it, and this is always like a movie that like I can just watch. It's not like the greatest movie ever, but like if I'm like I want to watch a movie and this is one of the choices, I could pick it to watch. I think it was well done. It's fun, and to be honest, I think is one of the best iterations of Spider-Man. Don't at me, all you Tobey Maguire lovers. I feel like this, even though it's modern times, gets at a certain thing about Peter Parker and Spider-Man that the other movies don't. But that's my 2 cents on it.
I would agree on that, Darren. I feel like it is one of the best Spider-Man. I will have it as the best Spider-Man for me. Right. I feel like how it was told and how Spider-Man was portrayed was spot on.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I think they do a good job of like capturing like the essence of like a young and learning Spider-Man, which I don't think we really got in the other movies, simply because Tobey Maguire and them were older, even though they were the origin story. They were in their mid-20s when they started. And you really didn't buy them like as this kid. Whereas in this one, is you really do get that sense that of someone learning to be a superhero.
Yeah.
And I think they do a great job of capturing that. And also at the same time, without doing the origin story, which we've already had.
Yeah. Twice.
Yes.
Yes, we have those origin stories a lot. But like y'all was saying, capturing the essence of like a young Spider-Man. It's like, dude don't even really got no social skills. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he learning how to be a teenager, along with learning how to deal with his powers and learning how to be a superhero. That's what like that's what I remember Spider-Man as being. You know what I'm saying? He like all over the place trying to figure out this and that. So like this movie captured that and like his growth, trying to figure out what he can do, what he can't do, and stuff like that. This is one of the like better live action Spider-Mans that I like. The whole Tobey Maguire thing, it was like, I mean, it was cool for the time, because that's what we had. But it was like, I mean, Uncle Ben looked more like his brother Ben, but that's another thing. But anyway, he just didn't give me the idea that he was in high school, like learning how to do this, how to separate the two lives. If I'm making any sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this Tom Holland, this Spider-Man is like, he young, he looks young for one thing. He's in high school, learning how to be a superhero, learning how to deal with his powers, and his reactions to things, the things that he says, the things that he thinks about, right in line with being a teenager. Like everybody can relate to them thoughts, especially when you throw the females into it. Like everybody can relate to those thoughts and that kind of mindset. So no, I like that part of it.
Yeah, that's true though. Like I feel like they captured that better. A lot of people talk about how Spider-Man's always supposed to have problems and they don't feel like this version of it does. And I'm like, I think it does. He's just dealing with teenage problems. Tobey Maguire's version, while good, I did like 1 and 2. I think Spider-Man 2 is better than this movie. I'm sorry. But I still would say that this iteration of Spider-Man is dealing with better problems than the one Tobey Maguire was. Tobey Maguire was immediately an adult, and he's dealing with some adult stuff, whereas the thing that was relatable about Spider-Man in the comics was that he was a teenager, and even though it was the 60s teenager problems, he was dealing with teenager problems. And that's the same thing that's in this movie. Trying to fit in, trying to be a part of the Avengers because he's aspiring to, he looks up to them, so he's doing the wrong things to try to be a part of this team because he really doesn't know how to do it. Balancing work life, I guess, with school life, I guess you could just say, with it being a superhero, and just wanting to be in a relationship with people. That's the thing that you deal with in high school. And to me, this was one of the few accurate portrayals of high school that I would say I've seen in media at all. Because usually it's something way off the wall.
Yeah. Well, that's because you have actors between the ages of 25 and 30 playing high school students.
Yeah.
Remember what high school was like, so they don't know how to act like that.
And they actually did send Tom Holland to an American high school to kind of get like what that vibe is. So that's one thing. And like you said, like the first Spider-Man movies, like those are good movies. Like without a doubt, they're good movies. And actually, they're probably better movies than this one. But I felt like this one captured who Spider-Man was better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a video, and I don't remember all the details, but they broke it down on how Zendaya's portrayal of Mary Jane actually captures Mary Jane better than the one you got in the Tobey Maguire ones, based on what Mary Jane represents. And while it's a little different, but they're like, if you were to compare her to modern times and what Mary Jane represents, I think it was something about her, like she's like against the grain or something like that. And the MJ in this movie more portrays that than the idea of that than the one in the Tobey Maguire version. Because Tobey Maguire version was kind of nothing, to be honest.
I'm going to disagree with that. Mary Jane was nothing in the Tobey Maguire movies. I don't think Zendaya captures anything about who Mary Jane's supposed to be, like, at all.
Okay.
I got to disagree with that.
Okay.
In what way, though? Like, in what way is you talking about?
Because he's saying, like, she going against the grain, but to me, Zendaya is just moody and weird. And that's not Mary Jane at all.
Well, yeah, no, like the personality is different. I'm not saying the personality is the same. It was they were saying the idea of the character that was written in the 60s, when you bring it up to modern times, the way they changed her as being, like, compared to the rest of her classmates, was the same kind of essence, I guess. I gotta remember the video. I'm sorry. But yeah, I could be wrong on that. I don't mind.
Well, I wouldn't. I get what y'all saying. What was her name? Kirsten Dunst, right?
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire one. The way my dad loves Spider-Man. So the way my dad was talking about it, it was like Mary Jane was supposed to be this girl that was so drop dead gorgeous that like she would stand out from a crowd. And when he looked at Kirsten Dunst, he was like, I wouldn't be able to pick her out of anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like appearance wise. And then he was like, just with the acting and everything, he was like, there's nothing about her that stood out to him. Like what he knew Mary Jane was supposed to be, nothing about her stood out to him in that aspect of it. Like why would Spider-Man Peter Parker be so all over her as opposed to any other girl in that high school?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was supposed to be projected to the audience. Like, hey, this girl is, all that in a bag of chips or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were supposed to get from that, but we didn't. That's not what I saw either. Like I was Kirsten Dunst.
I think one of the issues is that Tobey Maguire and Kristen Dunst doesn't have chemistry.
No, they don't. And
like I forgot which one I rewatched, and I was just like, they just don't go together. Like in real life, I could never see them together as a couple. And it's just they don't have like that natural, even when it's just a regular conversation, they don't have that natural, here's the person I want to tell my day about to when I get home from work. They didn't have that, where Tom Holland and Zendaya definitely has that.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of could, for the first Mary Jane, that kind of misses the boat on that aspect of it. It's like, had to be something where he wanted to come home to her. And I did not see that in those movies.
Yeah, I would agree, to the point where I would say I feel like Tom Holland really wants to be in that relationship. So, yeah, honestly, he seems like he does. He seems like he does. So, but
I'm about to take that somewhere. I'm glad you shouldn't have paused. Like, I wish you didn't pause right there. But,
that was a weird pause.
Yeah, that was a weird pause. But okay.
But yeah, there's that chemistry between them. But I feel like it definitely did capture the high school, the young, like that scene where he had the rubble on top of him. Like that was one of the few times I felt in a movie where I'm like, wow, man, this is really a kid, and you really feel sorry for him because he is a kid in that situation.
Because at first he panicked.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's kind of at first he's panicked and he's like screaming for help, and then they just realized, like, if you want to get out of this, you have to do it yourself. And I do like that scene a lot because it kind of shows his growth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the technology, because there was complaints about, Spider-Man's suit has too much technology in it and blah, blah, blah. Before we get into it, I want to say a few pieces of information. This is not new for Spider-Man to have a bunch of technology in his suits. There are a lot of iterations in the comics that happened. In the 90s, we had a cartoon called Ultimate Spider-Man where he had nanotech and could go invisible. So this is not new.
Everything that they shown in the movie was something that he used in the comics. So shut up. They didn't make it up.
But a lot of people probably are people that don't know nothing about the comics, so they just complaining. Because if they did, then why would they complain?
Yeah, if you know these movies enough, they don't take those kind of liberties with this. You know what I mean? If they're giving him a spider tracker in a suit that can tell you things and stuff like that, then you gotta know that they got that from somewhere.
Yeah, the drone. I don't know. Was the AI in the comics? That might be new.
No, the AI is new, but like I saw something they were complaining about his Spidey tracker, and I was like, they had the
Yeah, the cartoon, he had the tracers.
He used it all the time.
He had robots in the cartoon.
I always reason this way. If it doesn't take away from what the hero actually is,
saying that it did, but it doesn't, because it's in the comics.
Yeah. Even at the end of the day, in the movie, he won without the technology anyway.
Yeah. I guess they were saying that he was relying on Tony Stark, and it's like, in the comics, he had to figure it out on his own, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, true, but here's my thing. If you are a member of the Avengers, doesn't it make sense that there should be someone showing you the ropes? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, he's a part of a team, so he's not on his own. So it makes sense that there's someone looking out for him. That and Tony's not a good mentor.
No.
Think about it. Half of what he did is because Tony didn't communicate.
Yeah.
Yes. Probably should have communicated.
So, yeah, like, so he has help. Yeah, okay, all right, that's in the comic books. You know, Spider-Man doesn't have help and he has to figure it out on his own. But in this universe, it only makes sense that he has help. At the same time, they didn't do anything too ridiculous. All of the technology they used was something that he'd used before. The Iron Spider-Man suit is a real suit that he had before. So I feel like that complaint's not valid.
Yeah. Then Iron Man was only in this movie for 2 scenes. He saved him after the first meeting with the Vulture, and then he saved the fairy.
I mean, he did do a lot of saving. I mean,
well,
Peter would have been dead.
I think it makes sense though, especially with this Peter Parker, because he's everywhere, which I actually enjoy. Because I'm like, he's just an excited kid, and he just wants to go fight crime or whatever, you know.
You figure a lot of the issues in this movie was caused by him.
Yeah, except for the bad guy. The bad guy was caused by Tony Stark, as they all are.
We're gonna talk about that in my nitpicks. Okay. But like the fairy getting split in half, that was his fault. I'm even going to blame the Washington Monument on him, because if you left the glowy thing where it's supposed to be and not take it with you on your field trip.
Can we talk about him getting a piece of alien technology and just taking a hammer to it, then saying it looks like it's the power source? Hey, yo, dude, you don't hammer power sources. At minimum, you're going to get electrocuted. What's wrong with you? So, yes, Washington Monument was his fault. The ferry was his fault. At first, I was thinking, when I was watching this time, I was like, well, would this have happened anyway? Because the FBI was there and Toomes would have gotten his Vulture suit. But no, it was his fault. If we saw in the scene, he used his taser webs on the weapon. Like an idiot. Yeah. So he caused it to malfunction. It was his fault. So yeah, he caused that. Only thing he didn't cause was the plane that they were trying to steal.
Yeah, he didn't really do a good job of saving that plane though.
No.
And can we talk about how there was no one on this beach? Like, how is that possible?
I don't know. Because they didn't want collateral damage, though.
There's a whole amusement park. No one was there?
It was chilly. Chilly day.
Okay.
Also, I think the plane
Or it could have been really late. It could have been really late.
No, they were at homecoming. It's not that late.
Yeah, that's true. There were people on the Ferris wheel.
But no one on the beach.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Ferris wheel over there? There was a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it was a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster.
Yeah. The plane is Tony's fault.
You got a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. You know why the plane is Tony's fault? What you were saying before, communication. If they would have he called them, tried to get in contact with them because he found out that who the Vulture was and what they were going to do.
Here's my thing. Don't you call back? Like, you just call once and be like, oh, well.
He was going off to fight the Vulture.
Ned was the one that made the phone call. Ned wasn't doing nothing but sitting down.
Yeah, he did only call once.
Just saying. Then aren't you smart and you can clone Peter's phone, so that way Happy knows the call is coming from Peter and not some random guy, and then just keep calling.
Yeah.
That's what I would have did.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Also, Peter's dumb for disabling all this stuff in his suit. That was dumb. Why?
But I mean, that's the teenager side, though. That's the, why are you restricting me?
But he didn't.
I'm never going to be a
real Yeah.
He was supposed to practice, and he didn't. That was the whole
I think
point.
there was a reason why Tony Stark disabled the kill mode in the 16-year-old suit. Probably a good idea to not have that. But yeah, he took the tracer out, and I'm like, that tracer is what saved your life earlier.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Like, why would you take that out? You needed that tracer twice.
Yeah. It's like, that's you would have been drowned in a parachute, which maybe you should have told him he had a parachute. Maybe.
This is why you practice. Because I'm pretty sure there was probably just a release button to get rid of the parachute.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe this is Tony's fault. Maybe even though he's like, hey, you're not an Avenger yet, but this kid is out here. Technically, Spider-Man's against the Sokovia Accords because he's a powered individual and he's hiding his identity. But
did he know about the Sokovia Accords?
Yeah, that's what Civil War was about.
Oh yeah, no. They were learning it in school.
Yeah, one of the scenes they were talking about the Sokovia Accords. I think it was history class or something, or whatever, social studies.
Yeah. So he didn't know it at the time of Civil War, but he knows it now because there's a class on it apparently.
Yeah. So, but Tony Stark, like you're like sponsoring this superhero out on the streets, right? Maybe the internship that you say he has, maybe he does actually go to Avengers facility twice a week to train. You know, that might have been a good look.
Yeah, well, we said Tony Stark was awful. He's not a good mentor. Because if he was, that's exactly what he would have done. And then maybe if he gave him some attention, he wouldn't have done half the stupid stuff he did.
True.
But not probably.
All right, let's talk villain.
A Vulture.
Yeah.
A good villain. Michael Keaton's always great.
Michael Keaton is always great. That's always a win. Michael Keaton. Also, I think is one of the better villains in the MCU because, wow, a bit over the top, he had a reason for being bad. You know, it wasn't just like, your father wronged me in the past, so now I'm going to take it out on you, apparently. No, and he wasn't even seeking revenge on like Tony Stark or anything. He's just like, if I can't make money for my family legitimately, I'm gonna turn to crime.
I was gonna bring this up later, but we gonna talk about this now. It was in my nitpicks.
Okay.
If they have a phase through material wall thing, right?
Yeah.
Why not just use that to steal money? Because you're using that to steal supplies, then you got to make weapons out of these supplies, and then you have to sell it.
Yeah,
why not just steal money?
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work. You could have just used it to phase through a vault or something.
Would they be more over the radar? Like, is it more under the radar to do the weapons or the money? Money's traceable.
Depending on where you're getting the money from, because if you're stealing out of a vault, then it's
traceable.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big red flag there, like across the...
But you can steal money from anywhere, though.
But by them doing it this way, it made them seem like a legitimate business.
Right.
No,
right,
it wasn't a legitimate. How does it legitimate
No,
business?
he was still a business because that's what his wife thought he was continuing to do.
His wife was stupid because they lost their contract. Yeah, fancy. They lost their contract. So he had no legitimate business.
Right.
She didn't know that.
Maybe he just didn't tell her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she thought he was still a contractor, and that's what he was doing. And technically he was. It was just different types of contracts.
Okay.
Yeah,
but what I will say about this is, to me, the best parts of the Vulture was when he wasn't really the Vultures, like when it was just Michael Keaton being scary.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like the best things, like when he's in the car talking to Peter, basically like, I know who you are. I felt like that was more intense than him ever being in the suit. The reveal when you figured out that he was Liz's father.
Yeah, that
like,
surprised me. That surprised me.
Like a good twist, really surprised. And even then, it's like when he's in the house, you're like, this dude's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a good villain, which is rare in Marvel movies.
True. I think they started at this point they started getting better villains, or started focusing more on the villain at least. But yeah, I just want to say like how wrong that is to tell a person like they got city contracts. And then you're like, oh, well, y'all not doing this job anymore. Nothing we can do for you. Don't compensate them and then tell them they overextended themselves for paying for the equipment to do the job that they got contracted to do. I was like, yo, that's dirty.
Dude, but instead of becoming a supervillain, Yeah. But instead of calling a supervillain, can we just sue Tony Stark? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is America. We can sue you.
Yeah. Would you
Like
win?
that. Yeah,
Can
they'll
they
win.
I mean, Tony Stark's got a pretty good.
Oh
legal team.
no, those don't make it to court. They settle. That's right.
Court.
Yeah.
Like they're going to settle. He's going to win.
That might not have been enough money for him. I want more than that. You know, greed always plays a part.
I don't know. I mean,
I think greed.
I might choose that before becoming a villain.
I think greed definitely played a part here because, he had a nice house, right? He was acting like once Spider-Man got involved and he lost some of these jobs that his family was going to be out on the street, right? I'm like, how much money did you make from doing this? I feel like that was all greed because he by that point he definitely made enough. It had been how many years? You talking about from the Avengers to now?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? 5 years?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's not pay attention to the 8-year title card.
It was more than a title card. There was also dialogue that said it. Also,
Yeah.
my nitpicks.
Yeah, I think it was 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. So he did that entire time. Dude got banged.
Yeah.
He didn't have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
He just enjoyed it. Yeah.
He definitely enjoyed it. Before I had a problem with him killing the first Shocker, I was like, man, he just took a dark turn. But then I thought about it. He's a person saying, oh, I'll do anything to protect my family. I will. And that guy was threatening his family, basically. So it wasn't surprising because even though he had that joke, oh, I thought it was the anti-gravity gun, that would have killed him.
Yeah, it would have.
It would have disintegrated him, though.
I feel like floating him into the air only to fall later is probably worse.
High. Like, how high was he going to float him in the air?
To the top of the warehouse?
Not a couple feet off the ground. I imagine higher than that.
I'm thinking, like, maybe just a little bit to be like, hey, I hold all the power. You have to, like, throw him off the roof or something,
But you got to make a statement, though. Remember the Batman movie?
Mm-hmm.
When he had dude, he was like, you might want to pick a better spot. To fall from this height won't kill me. I think if you're trying to scare somebody and to tell them that you got the power, you're going to lift them up really high.
Yeah.
If I drop you, it's going to be bad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Interesting enough, there were 2 Shockers. So both of those guys were actually Shocker in the comic book.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Nice subtle way of doing this Shocker's stupid costume in live action. Like, I feel like, yeah. Because the Shocker's costume is dumb.
It is.
It is.
Definitely. So,
but I mean, most villain costumes in the comic books are dumb, so.
True. Yeah, Vulture's in this, I think, was very realistic. I thought looked pretty good. It's not just wings.
Like the fuzzy collar coat.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they had to do that because of Vulture, but I guess it's cold in the air, so he wanted to wear a fur coat while he was flying. But I was talking about like he just didn't have green wings flying around in a leotard or whatever, whatever he wears in the comics.
Leotards was in around that time, man.
Oh yeah,
Everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they didn't make him like a superly old dude either, like in the comic books.
Yeah, like an 80-year-old dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, Spider-Man, why are you fighting an 80-year-old? Okay. And losing. Also, I have one gripe with the car scene. I guess I probably should have saved it for nitpicks, but Spider-Man's stronger than he is, right? So with him putting the gun on the back of the chair, like, I kill you dead, just punch him. Just grab his arm and then punch him.
But he's a kid.
Huh?
Is a kid gonna think to do that? A high school kid gonna think that, hey, let me punch my girlfriend's dad.
Right. We've already established that he's a kid that's learning that, and a bullet is faster than Spider-Man's punch.
No, so the way his hand is, he could have grabbed his hand. He's stronger than him, so he's definitely going to stop him.
When I see you moving, I'm going to pull the trigger.
Okay. All right.
A bullet ricocheting all through the back seat.
He's not bulletproof.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not bulletproof.
He's not
All
bulletproof.
right. Fair enough. I got you. But all right.
So I'm gonna kill you dead.
I'll kill you dead. I'm like, is that worse than killing me?
Darren, I think your days as Spider-Man will be really brief.
My days as any superhero would be brief. Let's be real. Wouldn't last long at all. Although, I think Iron Man's got it wrong. Ivan Vanko had it right. Drones are better. If I could build all that, I'm just making a drone and I'm going to control it from the safety of my house. Why would I be out there flying, getting shot at? Like, what? For what? It's completely safe for me to control it with a drone. Technology is good enough to do that.
Agreed. And he did that.
Yeah, he did. In Iron Man 3.
Yeah. No, even in this movie, because remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I would be that way all the time.
He was actually there that second time on the ferries. He was actually there. But the first time, he wasn't really there.
Yeah. Why would I ever be there? I would never be there.
Yeah, I agree. Once I found out I could do that, I'm like, hey.
I'm not. What? Why would I want to feel the G-forces of landing from flying at the speed of sound? I don't want to do that. Okay, let the robot do it. So
it would be fun, though. I mean, that would be fun.
The flying part.
Send the robot to actually fight, though.
Yeah.
When I just want to randomly fly, it's like, all right, I'll do that. But
you know how people have flying dreams? So, like, whenever I have a flying dream, I always, like, get scared and start falling. It's like, I can fly, but then I'm like, oh, man, what if I start falling? And then, because I thought of that, I start falling. That's how my flying dreams go.
Okay, mine are a little different than that. But okay, I get where you're coming from.
So, like, I feel like if I was Superman, I wouldn't fly that much because I'll be afraid I'll lose my power and die.
But if you're Superman, you fail, you'd be all right because you're Superman. So.
Oh, right.
But it wouldn't matter, so it would be nothing to be afraid of.
All right, fine. Mm-hmm. All right, I refer to Dylan here with the rest of her movie information.
Like, what does cat keep falling out of the sky for? You fool! Got it.
Okay, so I wanted to start off just giving a shout out to them using the 1960 Spider-Man theme music. I felt like nice touch. Good job. I liked it. Good remix. All right. So Tom Holland was the youngest actor to play Spider-Man. We mentioned it a little bit, but he was 19. While Tobey Maguire and Andrew McGarfield were 25 and 26. Yeah, so especially when you came around to that third movie, Tobey Maguire was an old man.
Yeah, he didn't look like a young Spider-Man anymore. That's why he graduated from high school in the first movie.
He had to.
He had to. They got to get him out of here.
He was like 40 in Spider-Man 3.
Like, dude, we got to get you out of this school, man.
Can I be a high schooler in a movie?
You couldn't be a high schooler when you were in high school.
That's rude.
It's true.
That's true. I never got carded for any rated R movie. I mean, I never saw any rated R movies. All right.
That's out of the bag now.
All right.
I never got carded either.
That's nice. This is the first Spider-Man movie to not mention or feature Uncle Ben. Thank you for that. What happened to him was alluded to, but they never really directly talked about it. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
They also didn't say with great power comes great responsibility line. It was hinted at, but not actually said.
Where was it hinted at in this movie? I know in the second movie they hinted at it.
No. I feel like they kind of hinted at it when Tony said that if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't need the suit. I feel like that was kind of his.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I got you.
Okay. So the company that took over picking up the scraps from the Vulture's crew was called Damage Control. In the comics, it is actually a thing called Damage Control, which is a private company that actually deals with all the damage caused by superheroes and villains. So, nice touch. If
you're living in a world with superheroes, you're going to need that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're making bank. especially in New York, the city gets destroyed like every other week. It's crazy.
It's true. More than just supervillains and stuff. Everything goes wrong in New York. So.
Right. Yeah. This was the first Spider-Man where the Osborn family or Oscorp doesn't make an appearance. Interesting.
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, there's no Harry even in the school. So,
but you know what? Because then you would end up with Green Goblin, and we already did that. Twice. So we don't need to do it again. We did it twice. I feel like he's so important to Spider-Man's story, but then it's then do we have to have the Green Goblin? And I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, let's not do an X-Men where we literally repeat a movie that we did already, but do it worse.
Yeah.
You mean we've done?
AKA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So originally, Nick Fury was going to serve as his mentor. And I think that's because they wasn't sure they can get Tony Stark, but then Tony Stark. What's
Robert
his
Downey
name?
Jr.
Yes. But he agreed to do the movie, so then it got changed to Tony Stark.
Interesting. Well, we got Nick Fury in the second one.
Yeah, basically. So that was the plan from the get-go. Nitpicks. All right, we're going to talk about this 8 years later. Did Sony not see Avengers?
I don't know. It's not in it, and it's not like it was a movie that was close by. Like Avengers came out a few months before, so they didn't really know how the script was gonna be. This came out in 2012, and it was based in 2012. You know what year your movie comes out is based in? Just do basic math. 8 years would have been 2020.
How could it ever be 8 years later? Not only that, the title card, and he's like, oh, yeah, that was just a typo. But then in his dialogue, Michael Keaton said that for 8 years he had been doing this with no problems. And he said those costume freaks in a tower was paying him no attention until Spider-Man came along. So you did it twice. Mm-hmm. How was this even remotely 8 years later? Especially when this was only a few months after Civil War.
Yeah. And then they retconned Iron Man 2 for that little kid to be Peter Parker that Iron Man saved. Mm-hmm. That kid was 10? So again, it could not be 8 years later. All the things pointed to it, it just couldn't. Spider-Man, he was he's 15, 16 in this movie?
Yeah, he's 15.
So it's 5 years later.
Yeah. I don't understand that at all.
Gosh, they're the worst. Sony, you're the worst. And then the thing is, it got past editing. They're 8 years.
Yeah, that sounds right. Moving along. Now let's talk about PlayStation.
Well, they make a lot more money on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's why they rushed along to Spider-Man to get to the PlayStation.
So we talked about this a little bit, but Tony Stark is just an awful person. First of all, you had no business bringing this little kid onto your superhero adventures. And then you just dumped him and said, that was great for helping me, and then just left him alone. What did you think he was going to do? Yeah. Then you're supposed to be helping him out, and you don't really. Then you just yell at him and then take all his toys away. Yeah. What are you doing?
Bad parenting.
Yes. Horrible.
Yeah, right. that was bad on him. Plus, let's not mention the fact that he creates all the villains in this universe, even after he dies.
Again,
so yeah.
Once again, it's someone who's just mad at Tony Stark. Can we not?
Either mad or he directly created them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Great job. Do we really count him as a hero?
I don't think Thanos was really mad at him.
That's the only villain he didn't create.
The only one. Everything else, Civil War, his fault. Sokovia, his fault. Ultron, his fault.
Civil War is his fault by default because Sokovia was his fault. So
Killmonger? What about Killmonger?
Okay, no.
That was Black Panther's fault.
Yeah. That was the whole country of Wakanda's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mysterio was Tony Stark too.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
All right. So there is no way that everyone doesn't know who Spider-Man is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, at least his classmates, like the team he's on or whatever, they should know.
Peter, he didn't show up. He wasn't at the tower. And then Spider-Man, your new superhero who's only been in New York, is magically in Washington, D.C. with you. Why would he be there?
Yep. At the same spot your class is at.
Right. Guys, like, oh yeah, he was just walking along the mall and then happened to see what happened at the Washington Monument.
Yeah, how did he find out?
Washington at the same time. Coincidence.
Hey, he just happened to be vacationing in Washington at the same time you guys were.
Also, he's oddly strong. Can we, like, is he really hiding this at school? We saw him doing them sit-ups. And, right. Like... and also oddly built for a 15-year-old. So, like, I'm just...
I don't know, man. Some of them 15-year-olds nowadays, ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Like, boy, there ain't no way you 15.
Yeah. That and like... Were the teachers not concerned that Peter didn't show up? Like, we're just going to go to the debate without you and replace you?
Yeah, our team wouldn't have gone to the debate because we're missing a student.
And then he gets back to school,
but, you know,
and they're just like, no punishment. Okay, yeah, you're fine. You disappeared. We all almost died, but you're good, though. No.
He got detention.
Wasn't he on, like, in-school suspension or something?
No, that was before, but at the end of the movie, they did nothing.
Oh, yeah. Because he's smart.
I was smart, and I still got detention. I didn't go, but, you know.
There are other reasons. But, so... yeah. I mean, yeah. Of course that wouldn't happen. It's a movie. We'll let it slide.
I'm just saying, like, his whole class knows he's Spider-Man. There's, like, no way. And they're supposed to be smart, right? They're supposed to be smarter than the average kid,
right?
Yeah,
he goes to a smart school.
Yeah, so that's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Oh, one thing I had, why, when the guys came to his school, why did he hide?
Because he had a thing on him. Didn't he have it on him? Because they were tracking the glowy thing, right? Didn't he have it with them?
They tracked that it was used because the idiot was hammering at it in his shop class. So they tracked that. They couldn't track it directly.
Oh, why would you do that in school anyway? Especially since you were only using a hammer. You could have did it at home.
I don't know. Maybe Aunt May doesn't have a hammer.
Okay, it's New York. You can find one on the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So I was just like, I was wondering at watching this time, I was like, why is he hiding? Because they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Any other?
That was my last one.
Okay. Awesome. Was there interesting facts, or we went over the interesting facts? Are we're gonna rate it?
Yes, we can rate it.
Awesome. I'm gonna say I pay for that. Because it's a good movie. I can watch it without being distracted by something else. So I'm gonna put it at I pay for that.
I will go with I pay for that. I'm on the fence, but I go with I pay for that. It is a good movie.
Yeah. What about Dan?
I say the same thing. I pay for that because I can't give the best movie ever. So it's got to be I pay for that.
Yeah.
And I will go with I will pay for that.
Oh, a unanimous decision by 3D Rivals?
Is that the first time?
I don't know. No,
I think the Avengers was the first one we all agreed on.
Yeah, like we definitely call the Avengers movie the greatest movie ever. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Wow. And that's our thoughts on Spider-Man: Homecoming. What did you guys think about it? Was it good? Wasn't it good? Do you think Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man ever? Is anyone arguing that Andrew Garfield is the Spider-Man? I don't think anyone is. His Spider-Man wasn't bad. It's just not as good as the other two. Yeah. So you got that. His movies definitely weren't as good as these Spider-Man movies. So yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments or email us or stuff. You can do that. We're at gmail.com. 3drivals@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook too. Facebook.com/3drivals. Thanks again for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Oh, it's not what?
I'm going to kill you dead.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that didn't fit. We needed to threaten them first. You got to threaten them first and then say, okay.
Just end this.
Bye.